It's time once again for some local chat for a half hour. It's Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY, and it is sponsored once again by our friends at Independent Bank.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cadillac Unscripted. We are with an important guy here in Cadillac this morning. We are with Major R.C. Duskin from the Salvation Army. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You are doing really important work in the community in terms of outreach and helping people, and I know this weekend's a big one for you. So can you tell us what you're up to?
This weekend, we are doing the Ed Kellogg Food Drive. We are collecting non-perishable food items to be able to help folks, especially towards Thanksgiving, because we have Thanksgiving food boxes that are we're doing applications for right now, and so it allows us to provide those food boxes at Thanksgiving meal for a number of families that are coming to us for assistance.
Okay. That's quite an outreach, too. And how important, I mean, I already am starting to plan this meal, RC. That's how Americans are about Thanksgiving dinner. You know, we get connected to our traditions, and sometimes we take that beautiful food for granted. So for our listeners out there, how can they participate and help in terms of getting you donations of food and of dollars?
Well, we're at 5 different stores around the community: Walmart, Save-A-Lot, and Family Fare in Cadillac, Rogers in Lake City, and Ebles in Falmouth from 10 to 6 on Saturday. They can drop off food items as we have people out there collecting, or we also have kettles or collection bins for anyone that would like to give cash or a check. As a part of our kettle stands that we have out, we do have the tap that folks can make a donation through their phone if they would like to.
You got high tech.
It's been 2 years now that we've been doing that, and so we have it available for anyone that would like to use it, but our website is also available too at sacadillac.org for making donations.
Okay. How many applications? I mean, Thanksgiving's sneaking right up on us. Here we are at Halloween weekend. How many families do you anticipate reaching to you for Thanksgiving dinner?
We anticipate about 200 families
Oh
reaching out to us for a Thanksgiving dinner. And we'll be distributing that the week of Thanksgiving, and so it's getting everything together, knowing how many families that we have and what size families, so that we make sure that we get them enough food. But really trying to provide a meal that they can celebrate with for Thanksgiving.
That's right. Oh, my goodness. So when someone's in Family Fare or Ebles or Walmart, are there lists of things?
We have small flyers that the folks that are collecting stuff for us are handing out to folks that are going in. But a number of non-perishable food items are what we're looking for. So whether it's peanut butter or green beans and corn and
stuffing mix and pumpkin.
The whole thing that you would traditionally expect as a part of a Thanksgiving dinner, we are trying to do our best to provide that for the families that are coming to us.
Yep. How many years has this ministry been in action?
Oh, this one has been around longer than I've been here.
Okay.
So, but I know that the namesake, Ed Kellogg, has passed, but he's was a postmaster here in Cadillac.
I see.
And partnered with the Salvation Army over years and years in doing food drives. And so we're thankful that his son is still involved in the food drive, and just really looking to carry that torch forward and providing help for families in need.
It's amazing. What a legacy. It's amazing when one person, has a passion for helping people, the momentum that can carry even now that he is gone. And I'm sure his family is very proud of the role that they're playing in the community. And I have to give you guys a hats off, and we'll segue to our next thing here, in that you really are ideal partners, Major, in terms of, I don't know that you say no over there. People call you guys for help, and I know that you do outreach in terms of helping people with overnight stays that are in a jam, and helping people with clothing that are having problems through your retail outlet there. And so just high praise to the organization and to your leadership for helping people right where they're at.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And we couldn't do it without the donations, the generosity that the folks in the community provide us, because without that, we wouldn't be able to be here.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's also your good work. See, people aren't shy to write a check or drop off a beautiful donation because they know you're going to put it to good use.
Yes.
You know, so your reputation precedes you. Congratulations on your promotion from captain to major. I was asking R.C. today, Rich Spicer and I were this morning, about what it takes to become a major, and it takes 15 years of service. That's right?
Yes.
Okay. So you were just a young buck when you got started with the Salvation Army.
Well, I've always been involved with the Salvation Army, as both my parents and grandparents are retired Salvation Army officers, and so
no way, really,
I've been through it since the beginning. But I was able to go with my parents when they went to seminary. And so I got a second stint at seminary, but the second time I was actually a student at it.
That is really remarkable. And another legacy.
Yes.
Where is seminary?
It's in Chicago,
okay,
right near Wrigley Field. And so the Salvation Army has a whole square block just for their activities as a part of the seminary.
Incredible. Wow. It's like a compound over there, and they get their soldiers ready to go out into the world and do great works.
Yes.
We mentioned Project Christmas, which is a unique outreach here in Cadillac in terms of you're making people's Thanksgiving, making sure they have a beautiful meal. And I know that you're playing an important role with Love in the Name of Christ as you partner with them to pull off Project Christmas. Can you tell us about what that program does for Cadillac and surrounding communities?
Well, Project Christmas provides a number of things for families that are seeking assistance for Christmas. They're currently taking their applications right now for that, and they'll provide a food box for their families. They will provide gifts for the children that are of age, and a few other things that they're able to go through and check out as we have available. But
sometimes there's winter coats and boots and frying pans and things, toys, and isn't there?
There's mostly toys. Some of the other secondhand things are not going into it this year, as we've had to scale back a little bit due to COVID.
Right.
But we still have a lot available, and really looking to provide for these families that need a little bit of a hand up during this time of year.
I see. In terms of if there's a person out there listening that knows that their family's going to need some help this Christmas, this holiday season, how do they reach out?
There are different phone numbers for Wexford and Missaukee County, and so it's a call-in application.
Okay, so can be done right on the phone.
Yes, it's all over the phone.
Okay.
With Love in the Name of Christ is the one that's doing the intake for that for Wexford County and Friends Ministry in Missaukee. And if for any reason that anyone is denied as a part of that, they are able to call our office.
Okay.
And we can work with them and after Project Christmas is done.
Okay, so we want to start with Project Christmas, and then if it doesn't work out, get a hold of the Salvation Army.
Yes.
Okay, again, that's Love in the Name of Christ in Wexford County and Friends Ministry, Missaukee County. Wonderful folks in both of those organizations, too. And so you're saying primarily it would be Christmas dinner and maybe toys for the kids.
Yes, and some books for the kids as well, and I believe that there's a few other things that they have available.
That's kind of case by case, is that right?
Yep, and the availability of some of those things. So there may be some toiletries and some other paper products that would be available as well.
Great. So how long, I mean, Project Christmas has been going on a long time, and it used to be everybody came out to the Civic and kind of went shopping almost. But with COVID, again, we're limited. with gathering and things like that, aren't we?
We are a little bit,
Okay.
but this year, Project Christmas is still planning to have their in-person event. There are some things for some of the families without children that we're working on other ways so that we can deliver their items to them.
Nice.
To try to keep the numbers down of those that are mixing in at the Civic Center. So just trying to be a little more creative and trying to figure out ways that we can continue to keep people safe, but also provide them what they need for Christmas.
I'm amazed by this work because it's Herculean to pull it off, because each family is family specific. Item specific and all that kind of stuff. So we're just very blessed to have your work on this too. How many families do you anticipate serving? And I'm not pinning you down to a hard number, but between both counties, how many families will you serve through Project Christmas?
Project Christmas, we're anticipating about 900 families.
Incredible. I mean, when we think about what the population of Wexford County is, or the population of Missaukee County, R.C., these are people that we know. These are people that we see at church or at the grocery store, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And even looking at some of the numbers for the free and reduced lunch at school, the numbers are such a large percentage that are at that poverty level or below. That there are many that are in need, and we want to be able to come alongside and give them that hand up during this time of year so that they can celebrate with the rest of us.
That's it. I mean, we all just think these things happen, and then somewhere out there is someone who's really having a hard time. I'm just so glad that you can make their holiday a beautiful one too. How do folks, our listeners out there, how do they donate and participate in Project Christmas? How can they help?
With Project Christmas, they're getting ready to get their drop boxes out for food and toys.
These are going to go to retail
And
stores.
So, yes.
Okay.
There's a number of stores within both counties that will have them available, and some businesses as well, so that they can drop off the items there. If you have something more, going to the Project Christmas website, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on that website.
I'll find it while you're talking.
Number.
Yeah, I mean, do they need money, or do they need money? Well,
Yep,
everybody needs money. RC.
They're collecting funds, but also food and toys are the things that they're really looking to get to be able to provide for those that are coming for assistance.
Well, so when let's say I'm at a family fair and I see there's a collection over here, how do I know what I should be putting in the bin to contribute? Is there going to be a list there as well?
There may be a paper on the Dropbox that will give
some suggestions
on some things, but I believe on the website or their Facebook page, they would have a lot more available.
Okay. So checks can be mailed to P.O. Box 554 in Cadillac. Attention Project Christmas. And then the web address is theprojectchristmas@yahoo.com. And you can get right on the Project Christmas website and you can hit donate now.
Yes.
And this is all, looks like it's set up through Love in the Name of Christ, because there's a Rexford on smiling on their website, and I know she's very involved with Project Christmas. So, so many people coming together to try to make the holidays a blessed one for everybody. And part of that, a huge part of that, is your Red Kettle campaign. So can you mentioned that you're already out some places, the kettles. Do you need bell ringers? Do you need people? Do you need boots on the ground? How can we help?
We're always looking for bell ringers.
Okay.
Right now, as a part of the food drive, we do have some kettles out, but our official start date for actually ringing the bell with the kettles is November 12th. And we're beginning that weekend, and then we'll do the next weekend and the week of Thanksgiving through Christmas Eve. So there's plenty of opportunities to get out and to help. We have our registration online, registertoring.com,
where
folks can go and sign up. You can sign up as an individual, a group, and so there's many different ways that you can be involved. And different stores have different start dates because of different agreements with all of the national organizations, but it's a great time, and an hour or two can go a long way in helping us to be able to help others in the community.
Absolutely. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more of Cadillac Unscripted. We have Major R.C. Duskin from the Salvation Army. Stay with us. And we are back. This is Cadillac Unscripted. It's a special show because there's a big food drive today. The Ed Kellogg Food Drive is going on for the Salvation Army. And we have with us Major R.C. Duskin, who runs the show over at the Salvation Army. Again, thank you so much for your service and for your work. He's third generation, everybody. So Grandma and Grandpa were involved with the Salvation Army as leaders and pastors, and then Mom and Dad, and you grew up with it.
Yes.
Did you have an option to opt out or not really?
I have had an opportunity to opt out, but and always come back to it at some point. There was a number of different times and a number of different things that I was interested in, and those doors closed, and so kept moving back to what my heart was into, and found a place.
Wow. I want to go back to the Red Kettle campaign in just a minute, but I think folks would be surprised about a couple of things. The Salvation Army kind of handpicks you to go to communities where they think your skill set will be a good fit. Is that true? It's like a call?
Yes, it is a call. However, the way that we're put into places is an appointment.
I see.
More so, just because of the structure of the Salvation Army. But they really do try to find something that would utilize your skill set, and also would work well for your family, and also trying to figure out the best place where you would feel comfortable in serving as well. And so,
meaning you might not want to be in a metropolitan area. You might want to be in a... And so you get a say in this, too.
Well, we can make our suggestions. It doesn't mean that they'll always take it, but at least we're able to put our input, and hopefully it'll work out to a way that we would like to.
Right.
But the Lord provides, and He equips us for what we need to do where we're at and wherever we're put, even when it doesn't look like it makes sense. Eventually it will, and the Lord is just with us and being able to do what needs to be done.
It sounds like you are fully aware that He's got a master plan, and it certainly has worked out for your family, hasn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
How long have you been in Cadillac, R.C.?
Just over 3 years.
Okay.
So this is my fourth Christmas here in the community, and so really loved it. And the kids are enjoying the school district. I'm very thankful for the community and everything that is provided.
Awesome. Well, we are grateful for you. Let's go back to the Red Kettle campaign. You know, we see the bell ringers, and it's always fun when the bell ringer is somebody that you know, because let me tell you, your conscience kicks in. You're like, I need to stop and put some money in that bucket. And personally, when I see somebody, I think, oh, I should really be out here ringing that bell. And I'm not. So the least I can do is put a little money in the kettle, So, like you say, you can sign up. How does a bell ringer? Somebody, and I want to encourage folks out there, bring your kids out and let them see a part of being more than yourselves at Christmas time. You're giving back to somebody else who's maybe having a hard time. It's a good family thing to do, I think, with parents and kids, and saying hi and Merry Christmas to everybody, but also there are folks out there that need help, and it is Christmas time, right? It's the season to give back. So how do bell ringers get involved?
Well, our online registration at registertoring.com is the easiest way. If someone is not tech savvy, they're more than welcome to call our office at 231-775-7131. And we'll get them set up for a time and a location that works for them.
Okay, so you can pull up the calendar on their behalf and do that kind of thing. And then in terms of donating to the campaign, is that something that has to physically be done? I mean, I know you said you could use your phone, or is there a website where you could And that would be just a general donation to the Salvation Army, correct?
Well, any of the donations from October 1 through, I believe it's the end of January, is considered part of our Christmas campaign.
Okay.
So it's the beginning of our fiscal year, and so
You need money, R.C., to do your
Yes.
job.
And so it's trying to get most of our income, because anywhere from 30 to 40% of our income for the year comes during this 3 or 4 month time period.
Isn't that
And so
something?
it is very key for us to have a good Christmas season to be able to provide the assistance that folks are coming to us for.
Okay. So question, a really good year, because how many weeks are you going to run the Red Kettle campaign? How many?
Red Kettles will be out for about 6 weeks.
Okay, so in a 6-week period, what you would be tickled and thrilled if you raised how much money?
$70,000.
No kidding? That is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, we're going to have you back and report. How was last year? Because people were home a lot last year. How'd you do?
They were, but last year was a very good year for us, fundraising wise.
Really?
In taking together all of our direct mail and any of the online donations that came through, we have done very well, and we've been very fortunate and blessed to have the community supporting us and doing the work that we're doing. Whether it's trying to get the funds to get the food that we need for the food pantry, or rent and utility assistance, it's been a wonderful blessing that we can help out in just about any case that folks were able to come and ask us for.
The Lord's Army. There's a reason why they call it the Salvation Army. You know, it gives me the chills, because basically it's you're getting the money to do God's work. That is exactly what's happening. And so to our listeners out there, I hope everybody puts lots of money in the Red Kettles and gets online and donates online too. You mentioned utility assistance, and sometimes it's I need an overnight hotel room and things like that. How are those calls? How do you run intake at the Salvation Army? Because I can tell you, as I've served on nonprofit boards over the years, some of them required grants or filling out applications and paperwork and one-on-one meetings. And if there were times that we couldn't help, we would say, call the Salvation Army. Mm-hmm. So can you speak to that? Folks are calling you all the time with
Yes.
all kinds of requests and some unusual. How does that work?
Well, some of it just depends on the type of assistance that they're seeking. Mm-hmm. But for utility assistance, a lot of it is through MEEP, which is the Michigan Energy Assistance Program,
Okay.
that the Salvation Army is granted an amount of money from the state to be able to
Nice.
do that. And so the first step is usually going to DHHS,
Right.
and going through their process.
Yep.
And once they've kind of maxed that assistance out, then they're able to come to us. And so there's a few steps before many times we're able to assist in that way. But we do have some other funds if things don't work out for that. And we've been blessed to have some partnerships with some of the granting agencies and other businesses in the area, so that we can provide that hand up to folks that are really struggling.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I know that you all work together too, you and other nonprofits. Is there a formal meeting that you all go to together to say, okay, I've got these folks that are struggling with hunger at Thanksgiving. And how do you all know what the other nonprofit is doing?
Well, there's a few different groups
Okay.
that we're involved in, whether it's boards or some other more informal things. But we've been fortunate to have a group of nonprofits that are together on an email.
Nice.
Together, so that we can, if there is ever a situation, well, we have somebody here that needs a bed. And so we're able to get the email out, and usually within a day we've been able to meet that need. Especially if we're not able to, or another agency is not able to do it, we're able to do an email blast out to the group and say, here's what our need is, and usually someone is able to come through and to make that happen.
Wow. So if money were no object, and your Red Kettle campaign raised $500,000 instead of $70,000, which is an incredible number, I think,
yes.
to the 70. What would you do with the money? What would your outreach look like, and where would you take the Salvation Army in Cadillac?
Well, there's a number of things that we'd love to be able to do. First, to be able to provide some additional space for us to do programs at our facility. We're kind of maxed out.
Right,
we're
right downtown. I love that piece. You're right there.
The thrift store is in a good place. But to be able to do a little more, but then also the church and the social services, we are needing some additional space to do some different types of programming.
Okay.
And just to be able to have more. We've got some land that we could do a little more with.
Oh my goodness!
And
so you've got vacant land.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'd like to be able to do a little bit more with that, and to provide some additional program opportunities, especially for youth.
Okay.
And
what would that look like? Is that like a youth group type thing where you'd be getting them together for activities as a youth community?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have character building programs
Nice.
similar to scouting that we do on Wednesdays right now. We're right near the high school, so we're within walking distance for the middle school on up, because the middle school buses go right to the high school and go on from there. And so we'd like to be able to get to the point of maybe doing an after-school program 3 to 5 days a week.
Excellent.
And just doing more to involve the youth and engage them and get them excited about learning and excited about God.
Oh boy, well, I wouldn't ever bet against you. I can see that happening very soon, and hopefully some folks can get out their checkbook for you. And 3 important things that we touched on today: the food drive, the Ed Kellogg food drive is going on over the weekend, and so please, folks, everybody's got to make a grocery run, RC, because it's the weekend, right? So reach into your pocket and make some food donations so that the Salvation Army can get all kinds of people a Thanksgiving dinner. And you said how many families? 200 plus?
We expect about 200 families for Thanksgiving assistance.
Okay. What about volunteers? Do you need volunteers?
We do.
Okay.
If folks are interested in getting out to help for the food drive on Saturday, and we've got some open spots, give us a call at 231-775-7131. My extension is number 1. So
I love it. The boss is number 1.
And so if they leave a message, we'll get back to them. Okay. And see where we can plug them in.
Excellent.
But otherwise, other volunteer opportunities, we're going to be going through and sorting all the food that we got over the weekend this next week. And so giving a call to that same number will be an opportunity.
You could use some helpers.
Oh, yes.
Gosh. Okay, so we go from the food drive this weekend, then we go right into Project Christmas, which is helping needy families, and RC is telling us over 800 families, is that right?
900 is what we're planning for.
Okay.
But until we're done taking the applications, we don't really know.
Okay, so 900 families in Wexford and Missaukee County. And folks, if you want to get involved with that, call Love in the Name of Christ in Wexford County. And in Missaukee County, reach out to Friends Ministry. And then last but not least, what we've heard from Major Duskin is that the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign provides 30 to 40% of the nonprofit's annual funding. And so he needs bell ringers, and he needs you to reach into your pocketbook and find some dollar bills and some change and to fill those kettles up, right?
Yes, absolutely. And every little bit helps, because even a little bit of change can provide change in our community.
Oh, I like it. I like it. A little bit of change can provide a big change. Thank you to your team. I called to get you into the studio with me, and just a friendly, warm reception. And just like you're just doing such important things, and hats off to you, and thanks, and have a blessed holiday season with your family, and we appreciate you being in Cadillac.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Major Duskin with the Salvation Army, please be generous with these folks. They're helping out people in need. This has been Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Independent Bank. We're going to be back with more local good chat and good news next Saturday.
Cadillac Unscripted is sponsored by Independent Bank. Join us next week, same time, same station, for some more local chat when our guest is scheduled to be Dr. Jim Whelan, and we'll be talking about the Delta variant of COVID-19 and the very latest on that from Munson Healthcare Cadillac Hospital. That's next week on Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY.